Hello, my name's Matt. I'm an illustrator and a dungeon master, and I illustrate our campaign as we play through it. In this adventure, Nibbles goes missing, and three of his friends have to scour the streets of Yore to find him. As I go through this adventure, I'll be drawing a picture of the Mermaid's Legs, this picture here, so the process video will play while the audio of the adventure plays in the background. So enjoy and see you soon. Bye. Right, so when we left you guys, Big O was the talk of the town, strutting around the Mermaid's Legs with his new hat on.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, lots of claps on the back. Not many people like Big Tom. It's a nasty piece of work, and words soon spread around the tavern that you had beaten him up and taken his hat, and people were buying drinks, coming up and asking silly questions like, "Oh, that's a nice hat. Where'd you get that from?" Ha ha ha. Sailor humour, pretty good stuff. You notice Nibbles is kind of being left out of the celebration because he's a Udai, and there's a fear factor with him now. You can see people giving him dark looks, but then someone will lean over and whisper in the person's ear and sort of shake their head as though, this guy turns into something pretty monstrous, and a lot of people in the bar have seen it. So he finds himself on the out, and he's a normally happy, chipper guy, and he's been drinking with you trying to keep up, but you've been getting swept up in groups that want to hear the story and hear about this new guy in town, Big O, who took Big Tom's hat. Zeph, people know you here in the tavern. A lot of them just assume you went along, guided them, watched, brought back the information. So they do ask you stories about what happened and how it went down. I was thinking about this, and I know it's really been bugging Zeph how much Nibbles has been turning into like a giant bear creature, and you've told him a few times, let's not do that here and in front of people. So I'm wondering, is this something you would mention when you retell the tale? How you go about it?
No. He's less annoyed and more just scared, I think.
Yeah.
So it's not like, I think maybe a little bit envious too, of just the balls on the guy, Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But he might, if there's a big celebration going, he might just hang out with Nibbles.
Okay, cool.
In the back there.
Yeah. So you're aware of these dark stairs. It's a tricky situation here in the Mermaid's Legs for a Udai to just be wandering around amongst the people. But everyone seems to leave you two alone, not wanting to test this Udai, who has been seen as a giant bear-like.
And at some point he would have shrunk back down to
and I know he was always keeping an eye on the time, so I assume at some point he sort of snuck off and then came back as a smaller version. But so there's a lot of confusion as well. People are thinking there's two Udais, that you've been hanging out with a really big one and the scrawny one. Others are saying, no, he's the same guy, and a lot of confusion that night. Big O, how are you handling this minor celebrity you're having in the bar?
Oh, I think Big O's probably getting a bit swept up in it. I think he's pretty positive and pretty happy to chat to anybody about that stuff and just have a good yarn.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think he would probably be going back to Nibbles and Zeph as well, just to kind of keep them in touch base and keep them included in that. And he'd be honest about retelling the story as well. No, it was me and my boys. This is my boy over there. Buy him a drink. That kind of stuff, you know.
Cool. Even though you do try, a lot of people almost dismiss it and are like, "Oh, you're being too humble, Big O. Come on, tell us the real story." Because now when they look over at Nibbles, they don't see the big scary creature anymore, and they don't expect that from Zeph.
No.
He's always kept his head down. He's a runner in this town. So by default, you've become the guy that's beaten up Big Tom, and even though you do come back and touch base, you're aware Nibbles isn't really fitting in. He's a happy, chipper young guy, but his ears are a little droopy at the moment. And at some point he says, "Oh, you guys have a good night. I'm just going to go back and sleep it off in the boat." He's been trying to keep up with you. You know how he you know he tries to drink to impress you and match you, and he's seedy, and he says, I'll just wander back to the boat and sleep in our cabins. See you guys in the morning. And he goes to leave the Mermaids Legs.
I'll escort him down there.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So you leave. As you walk past the door, there's this huge orc that you know as Turok. He's a bouncer that usually works the door. And he says, see you, Zeph. But he doesn't say anything to Nibbles. And you guys sway your way back to the docks. Full moon night, you can follow the trail pretty easily, and before you know it, you've found your boat, the Bloated Barnacle. You don't know it's the Bloated Barnacle, but you're taken there, and Nibbles says, oh, thank you, Zeph. Let's meet in the morning and start to make plans.
Sounds good.
And Nibbles goes into the cabins that you guys used to sleep in. Zeph, what are you going to do?
I'll head back to the legs.
Okay, cool. You make your way back to Legs, come in, still in full swing. Esmeralda's singing.
What time of day is it now?
We're gone into the night, so we can say it's getting near midnight. Yeah. You're at the table now with Lubbers. You've worked your way quite well in. He's taken a shining to you. You're both enjoying the wobbling whiskey, which is flowing. And yeah, you guys you spend the night carousing, making new contacts, friends. For you, it's a new kind of experience to sit at these tables and feel almost part of it while you sit next to Big O. And Big O does most of the talking and joining in. He's a natural carouser, I believe the word is. Yeah, what are your plans once the night starts to wind up? Do you have any idea where you're going to go?
No, I think would probably just be a thing where Big O, I'm not sure how drunk he got, but I assume he'd be pretty on. But I guess near the night winding down, he'd probably just go home unless there was something like an event that happened at the bar or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think he would be trying to carry on past a certain point, you know.
Cool. Let's get you though just to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
What I want to see is if you fail a 15, we'll say you're quite heavily been drinking. If you fail a 15, then we'll get you to make a wisdom check just to see if you say something to the wrong person. Because you've got a few secrets that you're carrying yourself, and you might let some stuff slip that might come back to haunt you.
Sweet, sorry, I'm just bringing up my saves. Constitution is +1. 11.
So there is a chance you let something slip. Let's make a wisdom saving throw. And we'll just say it's over a 10 because it's...
Yeah, it's an 11 again
Cool.
because it's +2.
Okay.
Wisdom.
So in a flashback, when you wake up in the morning, you think, oh shit, what did I talk about to some of those people? And as you go through your memories, you're like, no, I didn't give anything away, I don't think. Anything away about, why you left Blueport, that you've dealt with the Blue Tears gang and they could be looking out for you and stuff like that.
Yep.
You've kept that to yourself. When you get back to the cabin though, where Nibbles also was supposed to be, he's gone. He's disappeared, and you can see the bed sheets and everything have been ripped off the bed. The room's a mess. Stuff has been turned over. You can see claw marks along the floorboards. And he's gone.
Shit. I think I failed the Constitution test, so I think he'd be pretty fucking wasted at that point, to be honest. And I think that it would probably be a thing where he's just like, he doesn't know how wasted Nibbles was like when he left or what could have happened.
That's good.
So he probably is just like, shit.
Put itself out in the morning.
Fuck it. Yeah, just goes to bed. Like he's pouring from like a rough part of his old town, so I don't think like a messy room would be anything out of the usual.
No, that's great. It happened to me once. I once got really drunk, and when I got home, just fell asleep, and people broke in and stole my computer and that, and I just slept through it. And I remember getting up and watching them run past the window with my computer, and then just go back to sleep. Yeah. Okay, so we'll cut to Arthur. You've been sleeping it off with your your stab wounds and the red mist and everything, you felt a familiar draining that sometimes hits you and can really wipe you out for a day or so. And as you wake up, you take in your surroundings and remember that you wandered upstairs in the warehouse where Quince Quigley runs his newspaper business, and you just crashed up in one of the goblin beds at the top there. So you wake up in these sort of makeshift sheets. Your head's, you're bleary-eyed, but you're starting to feel your strength's returned. Those stab wounds that you took have already scabbed over. You're a fast healer. And you can hear some ding, 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 ding coming down from downstairs. And then you hear like goblin laughter coming from down there.
So no goblins in the room though?
No goblins upstairs with you yet. You're alone.
I might just see if I can get a look without
Okay.
them seeing me.
Yeah, let's get you to roll a little stealth check. We'll give you advantage since you're just going to peek around the corner. And I'll just roll a...
21. Yeah, 21.
Okay, yeah, you sort of just lean over the balcony a little and take a glance down into the room, and you can see two goblins standing on the printing presses, and one's got tools and he's working away at it, and the other one is holding up some sort of blueprint and talking in goblin to the other one, and the other one's nodding and working away.
They haven't seen me.
No.
But I might just try to yell at them. Oi! Get out of here!
Okay, they're startled and they look up and they see you and they remember you and they're like, ah! and start to run to the door, and Quince Quigley's there at the door. And he says, no, wait, they've come back, they want to work with me on the printing press. Just these two. I don't know what happened to the rest of them.
Right.
They're great, wait, they've been working on this printing press ever since I was kicked out, and this one here, which one's Fritz? And they both say, I'm Fritz. And then he says, I mean Nitz. Nitz is the genius. And then they both go, oh no, I'm Nitz. And he says, I can't keep track, but one of them is a genius and has fixed the old printing press, and look, here's the new one. And he points and you can see this new shiny printing press, the one that came from the bloated barnacle, has been delivered and put in here. And Quint's like, so now we've got two printing presses that are working, and I've got two workers. And they're both like, hey boss!
Were either of you one of the ones that stabbed me?
You see one of them look down to his empty knife sheath, and no. But if you find a, never mind.
I suppose I'll let it slide.
And what did you say last time you walked in? It's like it'd give you 5 minutes to fuck off.
Yeah, and so Quint says, yes, these two came back. He said the rest of them have gone and joined someone else, a new gang, but these two didn't want any part of it and loved working the printing presses, and they're really good at it, so I thought I'd keep them on.
Yeah, fair enough. All about second chances. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. They could be more than just goblins. And then Quint says, where's the rest of you?
I have no idea.
That's actually a very good point. You know there might be a few places you can check out. But yeah, what's your plans now in the morning?
I suppose I'd go and try and find them.
Yeah.
Probably
Okay.
check the pub and stuff first. And...
Okay. So yeah, you wander along. Zeph, you would have ended up back at your house, right?
Yeah, he lives with Todd, I think.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
eventually went back there and yeah.
Okay, and we can say you've made plans to re-meet Nibbles in the morning.
Yeah.
So that can be something you can start to do.
Yeah,
make
we'll
your
get
way
back
to-
down to the dock, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll say, because Tinkertock's not too far away from Quigley's warehouse, so we'll say you come across Arthur as he's striding along, looking a little lost in the middle of Yore, probably heading in the wrong direction, Yeah, and you recognise that.
I'll just stand somewhere nearby and just wait for him to notice the blue guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walk over to him and just, I guess, ask, do you know where the rest of them are?
Oh, they kind of scattered. I think Nibbles ended up back at your boat. I lost track of Big O. He might have been in the same place. Yeah.
You know, Big O's got a natural homing beacon to find his way home after a big night. So yeah, you think he should be all right. Probably back at the boat.
I was heading back. I was going to go meet up with Nibbles again. Want to come with?
Boat? Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so you make your way through the alleyways of Yore. Doesn't take you long to hit the docks and come across the bloated barnacle, where it seems quite quiet, except for a very loud snoring coming from within the cabin.
Are there any other sailors on the boat or anything like that?
There are not. They're all taking shore leave.
They've most of them mutineered, didn't they?
That's right. They're either, or dead. Yeah, and a lot, have taken their shore leave. They're going to be leaving in another week, so they've been leaving it. There is the large orc called Turok who's sitting there, and he just waves and says, I'm on protection duty of the docks this morning.
It was a nice beat, isn't it?
It's an easy one, especially in the morning. And he's just sitting there on a crate, and he leans back and just looks back out over the ocean. He's an old grizzled orc with a lot of sort of crisscross scars across him, like he's seen many battles. He's got a pretty fearsome reputation in Yore as one of the guys you just don't mess with in Yore. And he leans back, folds his arms.
Yeah, I mean, once we're at the dock, I'll just follow Arthur's lead, really, because rather than walking onto a boat uninvited or anything.
Yeah. Carry him on. over the threshold. Yeah, and so do you go through into...
Yeah, probably go like a Big O. And
you recognise the snoring as Big O, and he's face down on his bed. Looks like he's trashed the place in his sleep. Yeah, and he's just lying there, a bit of drool off soaking the bed sheet.
Oh yeah, give him a kick.
Okay, and Big O, you wake up?
Yeah, pretty hazed out.
Pretty hazed out.
What the fuck's going on?
But you're always a quick recover. Yeah, it doesn't take you long, and you sit up, shake your head, and you three try to get your bearings. Again, Zeph, you know that Nibbles should be here, he's not here. You kind of remember that when you got here he wasn't here, so you can take it from there if you like. As far as the Duke and Grothmark go, for you guys at the moment, they wouldn't feel like part of your little group. They were on the boat with you, they left, and they've been doing their own thing, and you're not sure if they'll turn up, tonight as agreed, or if they're following their own story paths in the city of Yore. Yeah, so it's really you four at the moment, but without Nibbles.
Where's the wee fella? The other wee fella.
I don't know, bro. I got home last night. He was just gone. He gapped it at some point, but to be honest, bro, I was pretty fucking smashed, eh? Speaking of which, bro, I got us a job, eh? You and me gonna be running protection with the sluts will make you lose your virginity, bro. It'll be mean.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
But bro, we're boys, it's all good, bro. Some of us are just late bloomers and shit. I don't judge though. But we met this mean hottie called Tiff. And fuck, we smashed this massive ogre dude last night as well. I got a hat, check this shit out. And pull out the hat. And I'll probably take a swig of whiskey as well, just to kind of...
straighten out.
Yeah, just to get a bit of hair of the dog in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, so if you're pretty keen, we can go and run these jobs. It's just running a bit of protection. I'm pretty good with my fists, and obviously you are as well. So if you want to earn a bit of cash, bro, we can go do that, eh?
Oh yeah, sounds like pretty good work.
Yeah, how are you feeling anyway? You were pretty wasted the last time I saw you.
Pretty good. little bastards really fucking cut me up.
But yeah, how's Uncle Quince? What's he up to?
Oh, he's just at the printing press. He's kept a couple of the gobbos on.
Oh, fucking A. Fuck, he's pretty ballsy, eh? I don't know if he's pretty stupid or smart, but...
They'll probably rob him eventually.
Oh, you got to learn somehow their way.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you want to do, bro? You want to go check out the bar?
I
got some boys to introduce you to, eh?
what happened to the little guy?
I don't know. I told you I got back wasted, bro. I figured he just went and did his own thing. We can ask around for him though. Is there anyone on the ship like at all? Like
no, it was an empty ship even when you got here last night.
And they sleep in the same room?
Yeah. It's like a 6-bed cabin for passengers.
So what does the cabin look like to sober, non-hungover eyes?
Yeah. To you, yeah, it's a mess. Like stuff is strewn around. But again, as Big O says, he's lived in some messy places. This was full of young lads.
So it doesn't immediately look like there was a confrontation or anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're kind of thinking, oh, maybe they're just really messy.
Yeah.
Is there like any blood or anything like that? Like, can I like investigate?
Yeah, let's make an investigation check. You all can if you like, and as you sort of start scratching your head and having a look around.
14.
15.
10.
Okay, so Zeph, you notice those claw marks that are going along the floor, and they've left a small blood trail along them, as though the claws had drawn blood and then held on as they were dragged across the floor. And with your 15, which was the required roll, you can surmise that these were Nibbles' claws as he had turned.
I don't think he left by his own choice, guys.
What makes you say that?
There's those claw marks. It looks like he was dragged out kicking and screaming.
Fuck.
Wait, weren't they there before? No.
I don't know. Like I said, I've been pretty wasted the last 2 days.
Yeah, this room's pretty messy most of the time. Maybe we should ask if anyone saw him.
Yeah, well, we better. I mean, fuck, he's one of the boys, bro. He's only a little, but he can turn into a pretty massive cunt. We should probably go look for him.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Okay, so how do you want to approach it? You've got some contacts in the city.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what you guys want to do, but I guess I would ask. Probably go and ask Turok, like if there was anyone on duty last night, and who that might be.
That's a very good question. Yeah. So you come out and Turok's leaning there again, and gives you a look, and you ask him if there was anyone here on duty, and says, "Well, yeah, Captain Winters paid his protection money, so there would have been someone." And then he just has a momentary thought, and then thinks, "Yeah, that'll be Tull. He's I relieved him early this morning. He's a orc that, of course, works for lovers. So that's who it was."
Alright, sweet as well. Do you have any idea where to find him, or should we go talk to lovers?
Well, he worked the late shift, so he's probably sleeping. He lives in, and he gives you an address which you can know, and we'll say it's in the Cogs district, where there's sort of, the Cogs is kind of a middle class area in Yor, so there's a lot of shacks built on top of each other, and you know where Tull's one is.
Okay. Cool. We'll go talk to him. Thanks, Dora.
Yeah. I was going to say, maybe it's a good idea that we go talk to lovers first. A, so that I can introduce you to him, and B, just to make sure that we're not like stepping on anyone's toes by doing that.
Cool.
If you guys are cool with it. I assume that lovers will be at the bar.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. It's a funny thing, no matter what time you turn up, you'll find
He's
lovers
there with a quest.
The question mark over his head.
He never moved.
Just sway slow. Yeah. Yeah, he's sitting at his table. You see that the white dragonborn bodyguard's there, but not the black dragonborn bodyguard. Maybe they rotate sleep. And yeah, there's a few other people sitting next to him. Some are actually sleeping on the table, but when he sees you in there, he's like, Big O! Still got the hat on, I see. The hat.
Like, what's going on, boy? I bought my mate that I was telling you about. He's pretty cool. So if you guys want to see if you want to hook him up with a job, we've also got a couple questions for you, eh?
And what would that be, lad?
Oh, you know our little mate, the little rabbit?
Yeah.
It looks like he's gone missing, eh? There was some blood like left in the room this morning and stuff, and we heard that one of your boys was on patrol duty last night. We just wanted to have a chat to him, eh? But we just want to make sure that like we're not going to step on anyone's toes by doing that. You know what I mean? Like I want to keep everything like fine, but we just want to have a chat to him and see if he saw anything really.
Yeah. He looks at you and he kind of winces and he says, "Yeah, it's best you leave that one alone, lad."
Why is that?
Well, let's just say a few people want to ask him some questions.
They want to ask him some questions.
Uh-huh.
What about?
Well, he's been, and you see him glance at Pirate Bowl's door and the bodyguard, the White Dragon bodyguard there, and he's like, just leave it, lad. It'll sort itself out.
Alright, I think like, I don't know if you guys want to say anything, but it might be best to just not say anything else to Lubbers about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just leave it and be like, okay, well, all good, bro. But anyway, this is Arthur, bro. I was hoping that he might be able to come on shift with me whenever we go and run protection. Just wanted to know when we could start doing that and like what kind of coin would be earning, eh?
Yeah, it says he appraises you, sees like the healed over stab marks. You're a solid looking fella, jutting jaw and stuff, and he's like, yeah, you'll do. Let's get both of you taking over Big Tom since you put him out of business yesterday. You can run his shift tonight at Mouth's.
Yeah, sweet as. What time does that start then?
Let's get you boys there at 5 and see how we go to midnight.
How early is it in the morning at the moment?
Pretty early. Let's say it's 7 o'clock.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yeah, that's sweet as, bro. No worries, eh? I might just go get a bit more familiar with the city. You want to have a quick morning drink before we gap it?
He's like, I don't start till lunchtime, mate.
Well, it's lunchtime somewhere, bro.
That's right. I've been getting old, you know. Slowing down a bit.
Yeah, no, good, no worries, lovers. But yeah, what kind of coin are we going to be making from this, bro? I know that you said that he was on a rate. I'm happy to split it with my mate because working with the boys. But yeah, what are we talking?
Oh, we'll probably give you 10 gold to split between you for the first night.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, it should be pretty. It's not the prime time. It's like Sunday tonight, so it should be pretty quiet. But once we start getting into some of the hot spots, we can renegotiate.
Yeah, sweet. That works for me, bro. No worries,
Mm-hmm.
eh?
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, so you back away from Lubbers?
Unless you...
Yeah, I actually think they probably stayed towards the door when that was going down because he doesn't necessarily want to be associated with these guys in the sense of running protection.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And is maybe wary of asking the pirates about potential magic users and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a good point. Some of these scenarios are running through your head, like maybe he's being questioned about his magic. There could be a number of other things too. You know, Big Tom's still out there and probably feeling rather hard done by. And yeah, he was also, you're not sure how much he spoke of last night. You know, he's got his secrets too. Maybe he let something slip about himself. So yeah, there's a few scenarios running through your head. You don't know if any of them are very good.
Can I find some, like another runner or someone else I know who watches the docks, maybe some of the orphans or something that hang out around there and see if they saw anything?
It's really cool. Let's go with a investigation of yourself just for the morning to see if you can find and ask some other people.
Ooh, no, that's a 4.
Okay, so yeah, you quickly have a look out of the docks. You see a few sort of beggars that you know are drunkards and would have been out that night. You ask a few questions around, but you don't get any positive answers. No one even remembers seeing Nibbles and you walking back to the boat. Yeah, but we can say that takes you, say, 3 hours, No, we'll say it takes you 2 hours of walking around the docks. So you can spend more time if it's something you want to do. Let me think here. Yeah, maybe Toll's still your best bet. Yeah, and let's roll another investigation check if you want to head that way. Is that something you guys want to do yet, or?
Yeah, I was going to come up to Zeph and actually ask him what he thought. And be like, oh, look, Lover says we should stay out of it, but that's our Mayday, and like we can't really just leave him if something's happened to him.
Yeah,
like he was with us there, so
Yeah.
I want to go see this dude, but like, do you have any idea like what he could be potentially talking about, or like what we need to watch out for?
Well, nothing happens in this city without the bylaw balls say so, right? So if he was taken, then Toll is probably in on it. So you're not going to get anything out of him by talking to him.
Just talk with these first, say, let's find out.
You're pretty good at that, man. Yeah.
I don't know, Arthur, what do you reckon? Do you want to go and see if we can find Nibbles, bro?
Try to do that
Yeah.
Like, look
investigation
after him, mate?
Yeah.
We can't
Yeah.
leave.
Can't leave a bunny rabbit around.
check? Okay, that's 12.
No, even on your way to Tull, you ask a few people that you trust if they saw anything, and most are like, oh, sorry, Zeph, I wasn't on the docks that night. Don't know anything about it. And yeah, you eventually get to the shanty shack where Tull is. It's a rickety wooden building with a door slightly off its hinge, but with a rope around it to keep it shut.
Okay. Just be like, look, we should probably just approach him like all good. Like, there's no reason for us to like smash him,
Yeah.
but we can.
Wait
maybe-
and see if it comes to that.
Yeah, maybe like one of us should just go around and just make sure that there's no other way for this guy to get out if he decides to run if we knock, because I feel like if we just knock on the door and see if he's there, that might be the best way. But if he starts gapping it, then maybe we're gonna have to stop him. But we'll try and be nice about it first before
Yeah.
before that.
Cool. So yeah, the building, the room that he stays in is built up against lots of other rooms, so you can't see that there would be a back entrance or anything, because there's other houses sort of built up solidly against it.
Yeah.
So with a quick look around, a casual wander, you think it's almost a self-enclosed room
Space.
with the doorways the only way in and out.
Okay. Or should we just go in there?
I'll probably knock on the door. I don't
Okay.
think you're supposed to just go to people's houses.
I just don't know the rules around here. Right? People are fucking crazy around here, bro. Yeah, I guess I'll just knock.
Okay. Yeah, you knock. There's a bit of a gap. You can hear some movement around inside. You knock again, and then a huge figure opens the door and says, "Yeah."
Oh, sorry. By the way, I take it I've had a long rest now.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool. Let me
great.
just update that real quick.
Yeah. Got my key back.
Yeah. Pretty much. Make sure that I'm all Gucci and stuff.
We should come up with a different word for what your key is. Like mana. Oh, it'll be.
Your blood alcohol.
Yeah. I think Big O's going to do a bit of. So has Toll come and answered the door? Or is he
Yeah,
just-
sorry. So the big figure is a huge grey skin orc. Not as big as Torak, not as wide, but orcs are just big. And yeah, you can see there's a sort of dim light of intelligence in his eyes. He's your basic ruffian thug type guy.
So I think, I mean, unless you want to say anything, but I think Big O's going to do a bit of thinking on his feet. Be like, bro, you told, like,
Yeah.
yeah, sweet. Oh, I'm Big O. I've just started working for Bowl and stuff. I've been put on the run of looking after the brothels around town and stuff like that.
Yeah, good.
We were down
Welcome.
at the Mermaids Legs last night, getting on it and stuff like that. But he's given me a few odd jobs to do this morning before we hit up the brothel later tonight. We just wanted to know where you've ended up taking the rabbit, eh?
Oh, yeah, well, it wasn't me. It was I just had to step aside, turn the other cheek.
Oh, yeah, that's all good. Can you tell us who it is? Because we've just been given your name for it, and we just need to sort this out before we head off to shift tonight.
Okay, that's good. Let's roll a persuasion check. I rolled against his intelligence, which is pretty low. So he gets a 11. You have to beat him.
I've got nothing on persuasion, so 17.
Nice.
Yeah. So he goes. So what was the question again? Sorry, how did you phrase it?
Oh, it was.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
Where did you take him?
Yeah. Who are the guys that we had to stand aside for? Because we've been tasked with finding them. Because we've got a few other things that we need to give them because they got some jobs on aside from this. But
it was Trip.
Trip.
Yeah, you don't stand in Trip's ways, of course.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough, bro. That's all good. Do you know where I might be able to find him now?
Because
we're in a bit of race against time here, eh?
I think they took him to Bowl's ship.
Bullshit?
Yeah.
Okay, all good, bro.
The Huntsman.
Sweet. Do I have any actual cash left on me at all? Because I gave that 15 gold to get this thing.
I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
Because you got lots of free drinks.
Yeah.
Including more of those bottles. But you didn't actually make any cash that night.
Right. Well, sweet as told. Thanks for that, bro. Next time we're down at the Mermaids Legs together, I'll buy you a drink, bro.
For sure. That sounds great.
Saved me a lot of time today, bro.
Yeah. And you let Pirate Bowl know I helped you out and everything?
Yeah, no worries, bro. I'll put in the good word, eh? Cheers for that, bro.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good work.
Sweet.
Sounds good. So he closes the door and you hear him just going back to sleep. And you're standing outside.
That's impressive.
I wanted to beat him up.
I mean, you wouldn't have gotten nearly as much out of him as you just did.
Yeah, well, fuck, I don't think it's too good that he's gone to Pirate Bowl shit.
No.
I mean...
No.
Don't know if we should really be fucking with Pirate Old Bowl.
Yeah, me neither, eh? I mean, he is paying us. And, we don't know too much about Nibble's backstory at this point, do we? To be
I'm just trying to think if he let stuff slip.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to remember, because he's definitely talked about it, but, I don't know if we were present for a lot of that stuff, apart from the last session where he was saying some stuff, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, so he was... Trip took an interest in him because of the black scale eye patch that he was wearing. I'll just... In my head, I'm sure he's talked to you about it and that he's Captain Black Scale's adopted son. And it's a tough one. I don't know if he's told you guys that he wants to deal with Pirate Bowl. You know that Black Scale and Pirate Bowl are sworn enemies, and that he was told. Actually, someone did tell him. I'm just trying to think if it was Captain Winters, I'm sure, told him in front of you guys not to let anyone know that he came from Pirate Lord Bowl, because not Pirate Lord Bowl, from Black Scale's ship, because Pirate Lord Bowl and him are mortal enemies, and he shouldn't really be going into Pirate Lord Bowl's city as one of Black Scale's crew. And you also really think that he didn't do a great job in hiding that he was, he's wearing a Black Scale eye patch, and he's been Black Scale's adopted son for the last 17 years, which you're sure word would get out that Black Scale has a Udai son that fights with him and stands with him on the ships and all of that stuff. So maybe there's something there.
Yeah.
Especially the interest Trip showed, and now that Trip's dealing with him. You think there might be something there. But you also, you yourself know that the Huntsman is always crewed. It's usually where Pirate Bowl goes to sleep. He doesn't sleep at the Mermaids Legs just because the tavern's open most of the night and day. He does a lot of his business there, but he'll retire back to the Huntsman, which is well guarded to sleep. So it is a big undertaking if you guys are thinking about breaking him out, and then also you're working for Pirate Bowl, Lord Bowl now, so it is a delicate situation which you can approach in a whole number of ways.
Shit.
Maybe we can come to some kind of agreement with Bowl. I don't know.
Maybe we should go and talk to Uncle Quince.
Yeah.
And see if he's got any idea about what might be a good way to go about this before we try and do anything. Because we don't actually know what happened either. Like we don't, like we know Trip. We've only known him Nibbles, but we've only really known him for like a few days.
This is right.
So it's like this.
Could be anyone.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll suggest that we go and talk to Quince. And then I don't know how invested you are.
I mean, he's probably not going to tell you how invested he is up front.
Yeah.
But he does seem pretty concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got a special connection with Udai and stuff as well.
Yeah, and just something in common.
Yeah.
You know, something we both mutually hide, maybe. Or
Yeah.
one of us hides and the other one doesn't so much. We probably should.
Yeah. Great. Okay, so you make your way back to Quince. He turns as you enter his warehouse, and the two goblins stick their heads up and go, "Hey, bosses!" And Quince says, you found one of them at least, and young Zeph. Come in. You got boys ready to start work?
I've already got a job.
Oh no!
Well, that's what you had the goblins for.
Well, they do the printing press. I need you guys to go on adventures so you can tell me amazing stories.
I'm sure we can get some stories.
Yeah. And he says, so what can I help you with? I've got a few leads if you need things to track down. He's like, you can see he's kind of desperate.
We've got some questions for you, actually, yeah.
Okay, just a second. And he pulls out his notepad and pen.
So you know our little mate Nibbles?
The Udai?
Yeah, the Udai. He was out with us having some drinks last night, and when I got back from being on the piss with lubbers and stuff, he was gone. And when we woke up this morning, it turns out that there was some blood marks and basically explains like the situation and like what has happened, and then going and talking to Toll and stuff like that.
He says, oh, this isn't good at all.
Yeah, like, well, we don't really want to cross Pirate Lord Boyle because A, he's paying us, and like we don't want to just start any trouble where there is none, but it's still like one of the boys, so we don't really think that storming the ship to find him is a good idea. But if you've got any idea about a way that we can go about it,
you can see him nodding and going, I know how we can get anywhere we want. And he hands each of you a press pass. And says, put these on, we go anywhere we want, and you're... Follow me, boys.
Be like,
we got a story to break.
Be like, hold on, Uncle Quinn. Are you having a fucking seizure? I've been in this city 2 days. I know more about this than you do.
He says, and you can tell that crappy handwritten press passes that he's put on pieces of string. And he says, no, trust me, these will catch on. Freedom of the press, it's important.
We're like, yeah, no, I don't know. This is a good idea.
He says, oh, okay, yeah, well, me either. It's never really worked before. But one day, and he says, let me think. And he starts pacing around, and he says, so you have no means of... He sort of glances at you, Zeph, and then glances away and says, no other means of looking into areas without exposing yourself? I don't even know your spell list, so you probably don't or anything.
No.
But yeah, he's trying to think of other ways that you can check on Nibbles. And he says, I'll have to have a think. Wait, don't talk. And he starts pacing and going through people in his head and his list of contacts. And finally he says, We might have to talk to your dad, Zeph.
I really would rather not get him involved.
I know. He's really nervous, and he's thinking, and then you can see him almost change his mind, say, yeah, let's not getting him involved. He doesn't need to. We can take care of this. Come on, come with me. He starts. We'll go talk to Pirate Bob.
I'm gonna be sitting there. No. I think there's another way that we can probably go about this. Maybe just give us a little bit of time to think before we go.
See, that's good because you can tell. Yeah, he's still believing in the power of his press pass.
Yeah. So that's all good that you got pipe dreams, Uncle, but let's take it a step at a time, eh?
Okay. Well, this is a worry. They don't treat the Udai very well around here at all.
I'll look at Zeph and be like, why do you reckon your dad could help out?
He's Udai. I'm adopted.
Oh.
You don't say.
Yeah, I had the ears removed. Why don't we head down there and just get eyes on the boat and see if we can see anything? I really don't know what to do, but I don't want to leave him there.
Yeah, sweet. I think probably going down and having a look at the ship at least will give us like a layout, right?
Okay. So the three young men make their way through the alleyways of Yor. Kriska are following you along, watching, chittering. There's a lot of people starting to move around in the morning, they're well into setting up their marketplaces and stuff like that. And you find yourself at the end of the docks where the huntsman is, and just behind you basically is the Mermaid's Legs that looks up over the docks. So the Mermaid's Legs almost looks over Pirate Bowl's main ship, and then the docks carry on along to the west and to the east, almost disappearing in the sea fog with lots of boats. The Huntsman's an impressive warship, and yeah, lots of crew on it doing sailor things, checking the riggings and washing down decks and loading stuff on and off. Yeah.
We're talking like classic pirate ship with the captain's cabin at the end and everything?
Very cliche pirate ship. Yeah, no sign of nibbles or anything, but there's obviously a lot of room in this ship. People going down below deck and up below deck and moving through stairways and stuff like that. Yeah.
Alright, well, we're definitely not getting on there.
Yeah. You never know, maybe he's not a prisoner. Maybe he's a guest on the ship.
I feel like we need to find more information before we do anything, because we still don't know, like it's, the signs aren't good, but I mean, fuck, like Nibbles hasn't really been undercover about anything either, has he?
Yeah.
Do you reckon we could go talk to Dad, even if it's just to have a quick chat, just to see what he thinks?
I don't want him involved. He has enough, as Udai, he has enough trouble, and if we associate him with another Udai who's been drawing attention, I don't want the two of them linked in people's minds. But I can hold my breath for a really long time. So I'm going to go and going to dive off the docks a bit further down, swim over under the boat, and then I'm going to try and climb the back of it.
Wow.
And see if I can sort of get close to the captain's cabin and hear anything.
Okay, I like it. I thought you were going to say, so I'm going to hold my breath so they can give me the rabbit back. Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. You can find a place to dive into the docks. Lots of people actually, not at the moment, but they do swim in the city of Yor. The very cool thing is, as you go under, some Kriska follow you. They're like otter-like creatures as well. They often dive deep for seashells and clams, or try to catch fish. Very amphibious type creatures. And a few follow you as you... And how long can you hold your breath for?
Indefinitely.
Wow. Okay, so that's great. So yeah, you make your way to the back of the ship.
So it's like go right underneath it if I can, and then because I assume you can kind of, if I'm if I don't mess up my climbing or whatever,
Yeah.
I can sort of get up without anyone sort of seeing from above.
Yeah, so we'll first say this first stage will be a athletics check to make your way up the back of the ship.
9.
9. It is a difficult climb, so we'll say for this part, the problem with climbing checks is you can just keep trying, but we'll say every time you fail, you have to make a stealth check, or because you're making a splashing sound as you fall back into the water.
I assume you told us what you're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It just runs off.
Maybe we should make a distraction. Maybe we should just have like a little punch up or something at the
That
near
could
the
help.
ship.
That could help.
Like argue really loudly.
Yeah. Is that something you want to do?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, take me through the scenario. So we'll get you. Yeah, you make stealth checks at advantage, but I want to hear how you two play this out.
I guess I'll be like, what do you bloody say? Blah, blah, blah.
You're like, bro, don't get mad at me because you're a virgin, bro. I told you that.
I'm bloody not. And then I actually get mad. Like,
Turn into an actual fight.
yeah.
But like, bro, no one cares. Everyone gets their cherry popped at some point, bro. If you have to pay for it, whatever, bro. It's still the same thing.
Some of the sailors start to gather around on the decks and leaning, and they can see they're seeing entertainment. And a few are like, yeah, it doesn't matter if you're virgin, lad. Okay, so give me a stealth check
It
at
was a
advantage.
22 with advantage.
Okay, so yeah, you slip down, but you can see there is a way to get up here. It's slippery, but there's barnacles, there's cracks in the wood. So yeah, if you like, you can try and make another stealth check.
Stealth or...
Athletics.
Can I make it acrobatics?
Yeah, if you've got a really good acrobatics.
Oh, I've got better. That's 11.
Okay.
Oh, no, you know what?
Mhm.
I'm going to use my my Tides of Chaos feature, which lets me roll advantage.
Nice.
That's much better. So there's 19.
Okay, and what does Tides of Chaos do?
It just gives me advantage, and then the next time I roll Wild Magic, it's an automatic fail.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so you keep that in your head.
Unless I get a long rest beforehand.
Okay, which you might do. Okay, so yeah, you managed to claw your way to the top of the captain, the back end of the ship, which had a special name. I think it was the poop deck, because that's where people used to poop off. But yeah, so you get over the back rail and you can see there's a commotion where, and you make out Arthur and George yelling about. Sorry, no. Arthur and Big O yelling about virginity and stuff. And pirates are gathering around laughing. It's quite a cool spectacle. Let's get you, and we'll give you advantage since you're aiding each other. One of you make a performance check just to see if we can keep them entertained.
Sorry, are we both making performance checks?
Well, choose one of you who will be the main setup guy.
I got +0.
Yeah, I've got +0 as well.
Okay, so one of you decide, and you roll at advantage with just one of you.
Advantage?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll make it a 12.
12.
Okay, so yeah, you've done enough at the moment to keep most of the crew entertained. There are some going back to scrubbing things and everything, but Zeph, you feel like there aren't any eyes on you as you scramble over. Let's picture what the back of this boat looks like. You feel like, I'm going to say there's some back windows along the back. So even without climbing to the top, you come to those windows, but they're kind of, those old, almost frosty stained glass windows type of thing.
Can I just get up to one of those windows and listen?
Yeah. Let's make a perception check.
Natural one.
Natural one. It doesn't matter, even though you're listening, you sure you can't hear anything coming from within there. Either someone in there is very still, or there's no one in this room.
Okay. Oh no, I don't have any magic that'll help me in this situation.
Okay. From where you are, you can peek over the side, and you can see that there are stairways leading down but you know that people have been coming and going from them, and
would there be like, does the ship have like cannons or anything like that? Like,
yeah,
like,
it does.
Should it
does.
have like portholes along the
Okay,
side
yeah.
that I could get down that way?
Yeah, so you'll have to still make a climb check to. So, what's your plan to get on the boat? Get to the side.
I'm sort of hanging off the back right now,
Mm-hmm.
so I'd just like to get into the lower deck somehow without climbing up and over, so I can get around the side and through.
That'll actually be a good acrobatics check. So let's see what we get there.
8.
8. Okay, so yeah, you try a maneuver to get out and you fall into the water with another splash.
Yeah.
So let's roll a stealth check. We're going to just not at advantage of this one because it's loud and you're at the top.
It's 16.
It's still good enough. You spin, land, perfect 10 die, hardly a noise, and then you come back up and you can now see the cannon portholes, we'll call them, where a small lad like you could fit through. You could attempt to climb and get through one of them. So, yeah, make another acrobatics check as you try and make your way up.
No, I'm going to use different dice now.
You don't trust that one anymore, bro.
Yeah, it's better. That's 21.
Nice. So, yeah, this time you're starting to get the hang of climbing up the side of pirate ships and you scuttle yourself through, push the cannon slightly aside, and manage to squeeze your way through as a slippery, small young lad. And then you land crouched down beside the cannon, and spend a moment to let your eyes adjust to the darkness. So you guys are unaware of what's happening, so if you want to make another performance check just to see how your performance is going.
Yeah. Is it still an advantage?
Yeah, because we'll say you're helping each other.
Okay. 13. 4. 13.
13's enough. I'm going to say over 12 to keep them all entertained. So yeah, you come up with lots of funny quips about Arthur's virginity. Lots of times he could have lost it, but then chickened out, and Arthur's getting madder and madder. So back to you, Zeph. So from here, your eyes adjust to the darkness. At the moment, make a perception check. 8. I'm going to say the perception check was going to reveal how many people are actually in here. If you roll perception really well, there'd be no one in here. But we'll say you can tell there's 2 people here down below with you that haven't noticed you come in yet.
Okay.
They're moving around. One of them's doing whatever you do with cannonballs. Shining them?
Rolling them place to place.
Juggling.
Bowling.
But the interesting thing is, down the other end, you can see one of Pirate Bowl's regular bodyguards guarding a door. Now, to get further down there, would have to get you to make, I'd say, 2 stealth checks where you'd beat a 15 each time, because these people, the bodyguard's watchful, but he's looking out over this area, and this other guy is sort of wandering back and forward.
If I do minor illusion to make noises on the other side, will that help me out?
Yeah, totally will help you.
Okay.
So we can first give you a deception check on that, just to see how realistic it is. Getting you to roll a lot of dice.
14.
14. I'd say that's pretty good. So, what's the idea behind the noise? Is it...
Just to I'm kind of thinking video gamey here, where you're like ducking from cover to cover while you get them to turn around, and the cone of view is over there.
Yeah.
And then you just own that thing. So.
Okay, so we'll say that's enough to get them to turn, and the bodyguard seems quite interested, and he shouts out to this other guy, "Hey, Luke! Wait. Hang on, let me retroactive that, because people have been coming and going. It sounds like, he says to Lou, hey, aren't you supposed to be the only one down here? And Lee says, yeah, I'm just clearing out those cannonballs. And then he beckons to him and says, just over here. And they both go there. So we'll get you to roll a stealth check at advantage in just once, since you're going to move over 15 though.
17.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, you zigzag, moving silently through the beams and pillars, dropping behind crates, and you work your way close to the door, where you can hear murmuring and voices. What's your plan here? The bodyguard isn't going to go too far from the doorway. He's just...
Yeah, I just want to know what's behind the door, first off. Yeah,
Okay.
so is there any kind of like window in it or anything, or just...
not
my ear
down
to
here.
it?
It's just a door.
Yeah.
Give me a perception check to see if you can hear what's going on inside.
No.
No.
8.
So yeah, there's murmuring, but I'm going to say you do make out Nibble's voice in there. He's got quite a distinctive, high-pitched, clipped, quick voice. You hear him talking to another deep voice.
Okay, they're just talking. It doesn't sound like he's being interrogated.
Not at this stage.
Okay.
There's no pain or anything. There's just back and forth by
Okay.
questioning and answers.
I'd like to kind of just hang out for a little bit, but out of sight of that bodyguard if he comes back, but stand near a window that I can dive out.
Okay, yeah. Well, there's more cannons along the side.
Yep.
So yeah, you're almost at the moment crouched down quite low, blending into the darkness. There is a bit of sunlight streaming through, but there leaves lots of areas of shadows where you can sort of almost camp out, feeling quite...
Yeah, I just sit there for a while and see if anyone comes and goes, anything like that, if I can hear anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So getting back to you guys, you can only keep this up so far. Do you guys have any more plans, or are you like, we've got to wait to see?
Well, it's been a while.
Yeah, I think it would probably just die down.
Yeah.
Like, I think if the distraction hasn't worked for him to do what he's doing by now.
Yeah. Okay, so you basically maybe just take a seat somewhere and wait for Zeph. Yeah. Cool. All right. So, Zeph, you're hanging out this area. The bodyguard's returned. The guy moving around the cannonballs packs up a few in a crate and starts to leave and says, I'll be back for the rest in about half an hour, Zork. And Zork says, great, see you then. And so it seemed just the bodyguard left here.
But there's still someone else in the room with Nibbles?
You can also see, because there's a light on in this room, and you can see a light shining under the doorway frame, and figures must be moving back and forward because the shadow is going back and forward along here.
Okay. I think I'd probably just bail at that point, head out, just out the nearest sort of window and dive down, then swim back to where I dived in the first time.
We'll say that goes quite smoothly, because even if they look overboard, you'll be gone. You can swim, hold your breath indefinitely, and eventually you move through the docks, swimming through the pillars, these old algae-covered pillars, schools of fish. You find your way to one of the stairways that leads back up to the docks, and join these two to fill them in.
Yeah, he's definitely in there. I didn't see him, but I heard him. They're talking to him, so he's alive, but he's guarded.
Well, shit, if he's not hurt or in pain from what you heard, maybe it's just best that we play the waiting game for a little bit. Until we figure something else out, what can we really do? We can't get on that ship. Do the sailors have like specific outfits?
No,
it's not like a thing where they've got like uniform. They're just
piratey, and all trying to have their own individualism going on. But yeah, you guys have done really well. If you want, I've got to play out this scene with Jake as well to see how it goes with him.
Yeah.
Because it will be a very interesting conversation he's about to have.
Yeah.
But you guys did really well to find him, and we can pick it up next time with you guys waiting for him outside the ship, wondering what to do, and then we'll see what happens with Jake, and we can play it out. yeah, we might have to leave it there just because otherwise we might move the story too far again.
Yeah, it's
unfortunately. Because I do want you to also work your night shift as well, which we'll definitely do. I've got a few rolls that I make to see how that night goes, and depending on which day of the week it is, the encounter chance and things like that. Yeah. So you guys happy with that?
Yeah, no, that's cool, bro. Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's short.
No,
it's
it's good to at least get something in, eh?
Yeah.
People are gone.
No, honestly, yeah, that was fucking sweet as, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to roll all the wild dice. I'm glad I bought 2 sets now. One's clearly lucky.
I'm glad we didn't do like too much more than that in terms of like what we did in game, because like I don't think like Arthur or Big O actually have anything against Pirate Lord Bolt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, and we haven't known Nibbles for that long really, so it's just like, where's the loyalty at? Like, we're just kind of here doing our own thing.
Yeah, I think you guys played it perfectly, and I really like that you're thinking of it from your character's point of view, not from a player's point of view.
Yeah, I've like got to save the
Yeah.
Nibbles dies, he dies, man.
Exactly.
If we piss off Pirate Lord Bolt at this point, we
Yeah.
can be in for some fucking shit.
Yeah, hard.
Yeah.
We've only just started a new job, bro. We're on a
Yeah.
trial period. Like,
Yeah, and
I mean, more to the point, we're in level 2.
Yeah.
and I do want to make. There's lots of grey areas. I don't want to make it too black and white, where you just know, oh, we're gonna fight the baddie and stuff. I do want you to. You're in this guy's town basically.
Yeah.
And looking to make a new start in life.
Yeah, because he's not an enemy yet.
No. You've never met the guy
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. Like, I'm not gonna fucking sneak onto a ship and start going crazy.
So no, I thought you guys did that really well, and even the figuring out how to find him, and it was awesome. Well
Yeah,
done.
really a bit of persuasion on that. Or
Yeah, I was thinking, I'm not gonna give stuff away if you just keep beating people up. So, because I couldn't see him. I think one of you mentioned he wouldn't tell on Pirate Lord Bowl, and he's got more fear of him than anyone else and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I figured that was just. I don't want to turn into like a murder hobo. Instead of just beat everyone up, there's always a way around it, right?
Yeah.
Just go about it the right